If you're over 60, the foods you snack on matter far more than most people realize. One small daily habit can either quietly protect your heart and brain, or slowly increase your risk of serious health problems. And today, I want to talk about one of the most misunderstood snack foods for older adults, nuts. Now, nuts are often labeled as healthy, but that label can be dangerously misleading. Because while some nuts are incredibly protective as we age, others can quietly raise inflammation, strain your heart, interfere with medications, and even impact your memory. In fact, research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology shows that certain dietary fats can increase cardiovascular risk by nearly 48%, especially in adults over 60. And here's what most people don't expect: some of the most commonly eaten nuts are among the biggest culprits. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. As we age, our bodies change. Our liver detoxifies more slowly. Our kidneys work harder. Our arteries become more sensitive to inflammation. And our brains become less forgiving of oxidative stress. Foods that didn't bother you at 40 can quietly cause problems at 65 or 70. That's why nut selection matters. Some nuts help support bone density, improve blood flow to the brain, lower bad cholesterol, protect vision and memory, reduce constipation and digestive issues, but others can trigger inflammation, raise blood pressure, interfere with prescription medications, increase toxin exposure, suppress appetite or digestion. And one nut I'll talk about later, one that many people keep in their pantry right now, contains compounds that can slowly burden the liver and kidneys when eaten regularly after 60. The good news? You don't need to give up nuts completely. In this video, I'm going to guide you through 4 nuts that are especially beneficial for seniors, supporting the heart, brain, bones, and digestion. And just as importantly, I'll explain 4 nuts that older adults should limit or avoid, even if they've been marketed as healthy. I'll also share which nuts are easiest on aging teeth, which ones support better sleep, which can worsen arthritis or inflammation, and which may interact with medications you rely on. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal the number 1 nut seniors should avoid most, not because it's poisonous, but because it can quietly disrupt appetite, medication effectiveness, and long-term health in ways most people never connect. My goal is simple. I want to help you make smarter, safer choices that protect your independence, energy, and clarity as you age. Let's start with the first nut seniors should actively include in their diet, one that plays a powerful role in bone strength, heart health, digestion, and memory. As we get older, one of the biggest health concerns I see in my patients is bone loss. After age 60, bone density naturally declines faster, increasing the risk of fractures, falls, and long recovery times. And once independence is affected, quality of life can change very quickly. This is where almonds truly stand out. Almonds are one of the most supportive nuts for seniors because they nourish the bones, heart, digestion, and brain all at the same time. They're especially valuable for older adults who want strength without relying entirely on supplements. Let's start with bone health. Almonds provide calcium, a mineral your bones depend on every single day. While almonds alone won't replace dairy or fortified foods, 1 cup offers close to 100 milligrams of calcium, which helps slow bone thinning that accelerates after age 65. Even modest daily calcium intake can reduce fracture risk over time, but calcium doesn't work alone, and this is where almonds really shine. They're rich in magnesium, a nutrient many seniors are deficient in without realizing it. Magnesium helps move calcium into the bones where it belongs and keeps it from depositing in the arteries, where it can contribute to stiffness and heart problems. This balance becomes increasingly important as we age. Speaking of the heart, almonds are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the same heart-friendly fats found in olive oil. These fats help lower LDL, or bad cholesterol, which is especially important since cardiovascular risk rises steadily after 60. Regular almond intake has been shown to improve cholesterol profiles without raising blood pressure. Almonds also support digestion, something nearly 40% of older adults struggle with. 1 serving provides about 3.5 grams of fiber, helping regulate bowel movements and reduce constipation naturally. That fiber also supports healthy gut bacteria, which plays a surprising role in immunity and even mood. Now let's talk about the brain. Almonds contain vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects brain cells from oxidative stress, one of the major contributors to age-related memory decline. Research from Tufts University suggests that vitamin E-rich foods may help preserve cognitive function and reduce mental fog over time, for maximum benefit. I recommend eating almonds with the skin on. Because the skin contains flavonoids that work together with vitamin E to amplify antioxidant protection. If whole almonds are difficult to chew, sliced almonds or unsweetened almond butter are excellent alternatives and offer the same benefits. The ideal amount: about a small handful per day, not a bowl. Almonds are powerful, but moderation always matters. Bottom line, almonds are more than a snack. They're a daily support system for bones, heart health, digestion, and memory, making them one of the smartest nut choices after 60. If there's one nut I recommend most often for brain health after 60, it's walnuts. And no, it's not just because they resemble a brain. Walnuts contain nutrients that directly support how your brain cells function, communicate, and protect themselves as you age. One of the most important reasons walnuts stand out is their high content of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA. This type of fat helps maintain the flexibility of brain cell membranes. As we get older, those membranes naturally become more rigid, which slows thinking, memory recall, and processing speed. Omega-3s help counter that decline. In a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, older adults who ate roughly 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed improvements in reaction time, mental flexibility, and problem-solving ability. That may not sound dramatic, but for seniors, even small cognitive improvements can make daily life easier and safer. Walnuts also contain polyphenol, powerful plant compounds that reduce inflammation in the brain. Chronic inflammation has been linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. What makes walnuts special is that their polyphenol can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, where they help calm damaging inflammation directly at the source. Another overlooked benefit of walnuts is sleep support. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the hormone your body uses to regulate sleep cycles. Since melatonin production drops with age, many seniors struggle with falling or staying asleep. A small handful of walnuts in the evening may gently support more restful sleep without medication. Walnuts also play a strong role in heart health, which is closely tied to brain function. They contain arginine, an amino acid that helps blood vessels relax and improve circulation. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reach both the heart and the brain. Combined with their antioxidants, walnuts help lower blood pressure and reduce oxidative stress. Interestingly, some studies suggest walnuts may even enhance the effectiveness of certain heart and cholesterol medications by improving blood vessel responsiveness. This is particularly helpful for seniors managing multiple prescriptions, because walnuts are high in healthy fats. Storage matters. Keep them in the refrigerator or freezer to prevent them from turning rancid. Oxidized fats can increase inflammation rather than reduce it. The recommended amount is about 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. More isn't better, consistency is what matters. Some people notice a slightly bitter taste when eating walnuts. That bitterness comes from their antioxidant compounds and is actually a sign of their protective power. So if your goal after 60 is to stay mentally sharp, support better sleep, and protect your heart at the same time, walnuts are one of the most effective and affordable choices you can make. Pistachios are one of the most underrated nuts for older adults, yet they offer some of the most practical benefits for heart health, blood pressure, and even vision. For seniors looking for a nut that's gentle, effective, and easy to enjoy, pistachios deserve serious attention. One of the biggest advantages of pistachios is their potassium to sodium balance. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at flushing excess sodium from the body. This can cause fluid retention and push blood pressure higher. Pistachios naturally contain high potassium and very little sodium, which helps counteract this problem. Just one serving of pistachios provides around 280 milligrams of potassium, supporting healthy blood pressure regulation. Studies have shown that eating pistachios daily can reduce systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points. That's the top number on your reading, and even a small drop can significantly lower the risk of heart attack and stroke. Pistachios also improve cholesterol balance. They help lower LDL, the bad cholesterol, while supporting HDL, the protective type. This makes them especially helpful for seniors who are trying to protect their heart without adding more medication. But heart health isn't the only benefit. Pistachios are one of the best nuts for eye health, which becomes increasingly important after 60. They are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. 2 antioxidants that protect the retina from damage caused by blue light and oxidative stress. These compounds help reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in older adults. Another reason many seniors appreciate pistachios is their texture. Compared to harder nuts like almonds or macadamias, pistachios are easier to chew. This makes them a safer and more comfortable option for people with sensitive teeth, crowns, or dentures. There's also a built-in portion control benefit when you buy pistachios in the shell. Shelling them slows down eating, helping prevent overeating and making you more aware of how much you've consumed. This is helpful for weight management, which becomes more challenging with age. If arthritis or weak grip strength makes shelling difficult, pre-shelled pistachios are perfectly fine. Just be sure to choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to avoid unnecessary sodium. The ideal serving size is about 1 ounce per day, which equals roughly 45 to 50 pistachios, with their combination of heart protection, blood pressure support, vision defense, and senior-friendly texture. Pistachios are one of the smartest nut choices you can make after 60. Brazil nuts may not get as much attention as almonds or walnuts, but for adults over 60, they can be one of the most impactful nuts you'll ever eat, as long as they're eaten correctly. These nuts are small, rich, and incredibly concentrated in one essential mineral that plays a major role in aging health: selenium. Selenium is critical for proper thyroid function. Your thyroid controls metabolism, energy levels, body temperature, and even mood. As we age, thyroid activity often slows, leading to fatigue, weight gain, mental sluggishness, and low motivation. Many seniors experience these symptoms without realizing their thyroid may be struggling. Here's where Brazil nuts shine. Just one single Brazil nut can provide more than 100% of your daily selenium needs. That's not a typo. One nut is enough. Selenium helps your thyroid convert hormones into their active form, allowing your body to maintain steady energy and metabolism. For older adults, this can mean better stamina, clearer thinking, and improved mood, but selenium's benefits go beyond the thyroid. It's also a powerful antioxidant, protecting nerve cells from oxidative damage. This matters because oxidative stress is a major contributor to age-related cognitive decline. Adequate selenium intake has been linked to better memory, improved mental clarity, and reduced inflammation in the brain. Brazil nuts also support heart health. Their healthy fats help lower LDL cholesterol, while their fiber supports digestion, a welcome benefit for seniors who struggle with constipation or slow digestion. However, Brazil nuts come with an important warning: more is not better, because they are so high in selenium. Eating too many can lead to selenium overload. Symptoms may include nausea, brittle nails, hair thinning, digestive upset, and in extreme cases, nerve irritation. That's why moderation is absolutely critical. The safe and effective amount is 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day, no more. You don't need them daily either. Even a few times per week can be beneficial. Brazil nuts are easy to enjoy. You can eat them on their own, chop them into oatmeal, or add them to yogurt. No preparation is needed, which makes them convenient for seniors. So if you're looking for a simple, natural way to support your thyroid, protect your brain, and help maintain heart health after 60, Brazil nuts can be incredibly helpful. Just remember that with these nuts, restraint is part of the benefit. Peanuts are everywhere. They're inexpensive, familiar, and often considered a healthy snack. But for adults over 60, peanuts come with several concerns that are rarely talked about, and that's why they deserve a closer look. First, it's important to understand that peanuts are not actually nuts. They're legumes. And this difference matters because peanuts are far more prone to contamination by aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by certain molds that grow during storage. Aflatoxins are particularly concerning for seniors. Over time, repeated exposure can strain the liver, burden the kidneys, and increase long-term health risks. As we age, our ability to detoxify harmful substances naturally declines, which means these toxins can accumulate more easily in older adults than in younger people. Another issue with peanuts is their fat profile. Peanuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 fats aren't inherently bad, but when consumed in excess, especially without enough omega-3 fats, they can promote inflammation. For seniors dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or chronic pain, this imbalance may worsen symptoms. Then there's the way peanuts are usually consumed. Most people don't eat raw, plain peanuts. They eat salted, roasted, or processed peanut products. These often contain added oils, excess sodium, sugar, and preservatives. Over time, this combination can raise blood pressure, disrupt blood sugar levels, and contribute to weight gain, three things that become harder to manage after 60. Peanut butter deserves special mention. Many commercial brands contain hydrogenated oils and added sugars, which cancel out any potential benefits. Even natural peanut butters can still deliver large amounts of omega-6 fats in a very concentrated form. There's also the issue of digestive sensitivity. Peanuts contain compounds that can irritate the gut lining in some people, leading to bloating or discomfort, problems that seniors often experience more frequently. This doesn't mean peanuts are toxic or must be completely avoided. An occasional serving likely won't cause harm. But making peanuts a daily habit isn't ideal for older adults, especially when safer, more beneficial nut options exist. If you enjoy peanuts, keep portions small, avoid heavily processed versions, and balance them with omega-3 rich foods like walnuts. The key takeaway is this: peanuts may be convenient, but after 60, convenience doesn't always equal health. Cashews are creamy, mild, and incredibly popular. They're used in snack mixes, sauces, dairy alternatives, and desserts. But for adults over 60, cashews come with some important concerns that are often overlooked, especially for those managing blood sugar or kidney health. One of the biggest issues with cashews is their carbohydrate content. Compared to most other nuts, cashews are significantly higher in carbs and have a higher glycemic impact. This means they can raise blood sugar more quickly than many people expect. For seniors, this matters a lot. Nearly 1 in 4 adults over 60 lives with diabetes or prediabetes, and even mild blood sugar spikes can contribute to fatigue, inflammation, and long-term complications. Cashews may seem healthy, but when eaten in larger amounts, they can quietly disrupt glucose control. Another concern is their oxalate content. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds that can interfere with calcium absorption. Over time, high oxalate intake may contribute to kidney stone formation, especially in individuals already at risk. Since kidney function naturally declines with age, older adults need to be especially mindful of foods high in oxalates. Cashews also tend to be heavily processed. Most store-bought cashews are roasted in vegetable oils and generously salted. This adds extra sodium and unhealthy fats, which can raise blood pressure and strain the cardiovascular system, something seniors should actively avoid. There's also a portion control issue. Cashews are smooth, soft, and easy to eat quickly. Because they're less crunchy than many other nuts, it's easy to overconsume them without feeling full. That can lead to excess calorie intake and unwanted weight gain, which affects joint health, mobility, and insulin sensitivity. It's also worth noting that cashews in their raw form are never truly raw. They must be processed to remove toxic compounds, which means all cashews are exposed to heat and handling before they reach your plate. Does this mean cashews are dangerous? No. Eating a small amount occasionally is unlikely to cause harm. But for seniors, cashews are not the best everyday nut, especially if you're monitoring blood sugar, kidney health, or blood pressure. If you enjoy the flavor, use cashews sparingly and avoid relying on cashew-based products as daily staples. There are better nut choices that deliver more benefits with fewer risks. After 60, the goal isn't just eating foods that taste good, it's choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. Macadamia nuts are often seen as a luxury snack. They're rich, buttery, and very satisfying, but for adults over 60, they come with several downsides that make them a poor choice for regular consumption. The first issue is calorie density. Macadamia nuts are one of the most calorie-dense nuts available. Just a small handful can contain over 200 calories, most of them coming from fat. While healthy fats are important, excess calories become harder to manage as metabolism naturally slows with age. For seniors, even modest weight gain can worsen conditions like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, joint pain, and mobility issues. Because macadamia nuts don't create strong feelings of fullness, it's very easy to overeat them without realizing it. The second concern is fat composition. Macadamias are unusually high in saturated fat compared to most other nuts. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, the type linked to plaque buildup in arteries. Since cardiovascular risk already increases after 60, Adding extra saturated fat through frequent macadamia consumption may place unnecessary strain on the heart. Another overlooked issue is digestive tolerance. Because macadamia nuts are so rich in fat, they can overwhelm the digestive system in older adults, particularly those with a sensitive or weakened gallbladder. Symptoms may include bloating, nausea, abdominal discomfort, or gallbladder flare-ups after eating fatty foods. Dental health is another factor. Macadamia nuts are very dense and hard, which can be problematic for seniors with crowns, implants, dentures, or weakened enamel. What seems like a harmless snack can lead to dental discomfort or even damage. There's also a practical concern. Macadamia nuts are often eaten roasted and salted, adding unnecessary sodium. Excess sodium contributes to fluid retention and elevated blood pressure, two issues that become more difficult to control with age. This doesn't mean macadamia nuts are toxic or forbidden. They do contain antioxidants and some beneficial fats. However, when you compare their risks and benefits, they simply don't offer enough nutritional payoff to justify frequent use in a senior-friendly diet. If you enjoy macadamia nuts, treat them as an occasional indulgence, not a daily habit. A few pieces once in a while is very different from eating them regularly. After 60, smarter choices matter more than indulgent ones. And when there are nuts that protect the heart, brain, and bones with fewer downsides, it makes sense to choose those instead. Pine nuts may look harmless. They're often sprinkled on salads, blended into pesto, or added to healthy recipes. But for adults over 60, pine nuts are one of the most problematic nuts, and the risks are rarely discussed. One of the biggest concerns with pine nuts is their interaction with medications. Many seniors take prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, arthritis, or heart health. Compounds in pine nuts can interfere with how the liver processes certain medications, potentially reducing their effectiveness or increasing side effects. Some studies suggest pine nuts may affect the metabolism of more than half of commonly prescribed drugs. That means a food choice you'd never suspect could quietly weaken the medications you rely on every day. Another serious issue is something called pine nut syndrome. It's real, documented, and surprisingly common. After eating pine nuts, some people develop a persistent bitter or metallic taste in their mouth. This unpleasant taste can last for days or even weeks. For older adults, this is more than just annoying. It can suppress appetite. And when seniors eat less unintentionally, it increases the risk of malnutrition, muscle loss, and weakened immunity. Appetite changes are not something to take lightly after 60. Pine nuts also contain a high amount of polyunsaturated fats, which are extremely sensitive to heat and air. Pine nuts spoil easily. Once oxidized, their fats promote inflammation instead of reducing it. Chronic inflammation is linked to arthritis, joint pain, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline, exactly what seniors are trying to avoid. There's also the issue of storage. Many pine nuts sit on shelves for long periods before being sold. Even when refrigerated at home, their fats can degrade quickly, making it difficult to ensure freshness. While pine nuts do contain some nutrients, the risks simply outweigh the benefits for older adults, especially for those taking medications, struggling with appetite, or managing inflammation. That's why, if I had to name one nut seniors should avoid most, pine nuts would be at the top of the list. The good news is you don't need them. There are far safer nuts that support heart health, protect memory, strengthen bones, and aid digestion without these hidden risks. So remember, after 60, small food choices make a big difference. Choosing the right nuts can help you stay sharper, stronger, and more independent for longer. If this video helped you see nuts in a new way, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed certain nuts make you feel better, or worse? Share your experience in the comments. Your insight might help someone else make a healthier choice, and if you found this information useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I'm Dr. Christina Serrati, and I'll see you in the next video with more simple, science-backed ways to stay healthy and active as you age.